The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Play action. It's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. A lane there to run as Mostert able to get about 7 there on first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Working with a 2nd and 3. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. To throw is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And, Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench, just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually, and that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game.
He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. There's the rookie from LSU. It's Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow in year number 2, moving around pretty good considering the seriousness of his injury last year. If you're a defensive coordinator here, what are you trying to do to slow Joe Burrow down?
I think you want him to be in rhythm. I think you want him to be on time. And normally, you want to take that away from a quarterback, make him hold it a little bit longer. But when he has a chance to maneuver around the pocket, sometimes get out of it, big plays result. I want him throwing the ball on time and then tackling the receivers so there's no extra yardage.
Play action. It's Burrow. Rolling to his left. Open man is Uzomah. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 36. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I gotta say, if it's gonna be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 14.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 15. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Play action. Now Jackson. He hits Adams complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Man open left side is Brown. 7 yards, the pickup there.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. And Jackson throwing once more on the move to his left. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down. Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Wilson is perfectly content to bring this out to the 25, a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Burrow will throw. Out to his left. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play there on the catch and run.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Here we go. 11 Thomas.
Where's 52? Watch 52.
Burrow looking to pass. This goes out wide from Mixon. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now Burrow on 1st down. To Mixon on the check down. Touchdown Bengals. Joe Mixon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Boy, still a half plus to play, but it is a 2-score game. They're going to go onside kick early. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a 21-7 lead already in their hip pocket, probably not a time to get too creative or inventive here. We'll see. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete on the deep ball. These two teams met in Baltimore, you might remember earlier in the year, with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. No return here for Wilson. To touch back, it'll come out to the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Back to Mixon on second down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
11 MT.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Finding some room at midfield and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And he's got this down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Flush to his right. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Mason, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Ben Mason with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now it's Jackson. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Jackson will throw again. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jackson on first down. Oh, nice move. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
Touchdown! Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Ravens are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge, because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you go to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Mixon with a first down carry. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Burrow on play action. He will find his man Chase complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow, he'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. On 3rd down, Mixon. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Larry Ogunjobi, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now, after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Throwing is Jackson. That is caught, Rashad Bateman. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Trey Hendrickson, an All-Pro with New Orleans in 2020. There on the tackle. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 2nd down. Here's Mostert again. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Third and 2. Here's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance.
Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now it's Jackson. He'll find Bateman once more. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for Baltimore, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.